Hello everyone! Welcome to Messy Hearts, where we help people who seek advice for their troubled relationships and lives. Listen carefully and share your experience down in the comments below to help those who seek it. We hope you enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's head on to the first story. Story 1. My ex-boyfriend is letting over $1,000 sit in collections in my name to hurt my credit score, so I'll have to move back in with him. How do I get out of this? My ex and I got an apartment in January of 2023. The duration of the lease was for 18 months and had both of our names on it. Over the course of those 18 months, he limited my freedoms in a way which would have made it very difficult for me to leave. My car became undrivable and he had me just drive his because it was easier than fixing mine, and his car was nicer anyway, so what was I complaining about? All of my paychecks went straight into a joint account for our bills that we split 50-50, $1,600 rent, $200 in utilities, his $700 car payment and $500 insurance payment that we split because I was the one driving it, when my take-home pay in a month was $1.6 thousand and his was $5,000. My leftover money would go towards groceries. It was fair because he had over $30,000 in credit card debt that he was trying to pay down, and I was debt-free. What did I need all that extra money for when he would buy me anything I could ever need? I was never allowed to go see friends because I couldn't waste miles on his car, and my friends could never come over because he didn't get along with them, so eventually I just didn't have any friends, and no couch to stay on if I ever needed it. I took a reality check and realized how bad things had gotten, small things adding up without me noticing, like a frog in a boiling pot. When I got a promotion at work, 6 months before the end of the lease, I secretly made my own bank account online to deposit the difference from my pay increase. 3 months before the end of our lease, when we had to notify the complex if we were staying or leaving, my ex suggested we cancel our lease and move into a newly built cabin on his parents' property so we didn't have to pay rent while saving up for a house. I agreed, thankful for an excuse to end the lease with my name on it. I found a roommate on the internet, lined up a new apartment and a new job. Until my car was fixed, my roommate would generously give me rides to work when possible, and when not, I would ride share. A week before the end of our lease, while he was on a business trip, I broke up with him over the phone. He cried a lot, but seemed to accept it, which I had been worried about. He appeared amicable even. I moved successfully and everything was going well. Our lease officially ended on July 31st. September 1st, I got a call from our old apartment complex that we had a balance with them at risk of going to collections unless I set up a payment plan. I never had access to our apartment payment portal, so I had no idea my ex hadn't paid everything in full. Upon request, our leasing agent sent a list of charges to my email. $100 for cleaning, $600 for trash removal, and $900 for damages. Cleaning was pretty much expected. The damages made sense, as my ex had made a couple holes in the walls either out of anger, punching, or drunkenness falling, and he had already said he would pay for that himself when we moved out. Trash didn't, as I had made sure to personally collect and remove at least 10 huge black bags full of trash when I was moving out to avoid such a fee, as I knew he wouldn't bother. When I called him to find out what was going on, he said that the trash removal fee was probably from all of his things that he left behind after deciding he didn't want them, but that it was no problem, and he would pay all of the fees himself. Payment plan, after putting our security deposit towards the fees, amounted to $300 a month, paid by the 15th for 4 months. The payment was made later than the 20th. The total would go straight to collections without notice. $300 should have been nothing for him, especially since he no longer had any rent to pay. I texted my ex on the 15th to make sure he hadn't forgotten, and he said he had made the month's payment already. Today, I got a call from a collector. My ex ignored my calls at first. Then, when he did answer, he told me he's too broke to be able to make the payments. There's no way I can pay it myself with how tight things are currently. My car isn't even done getting fixed yet, and the little bit of money I do have saved is meant to go towards that so I don't have to keep spending money on ride shares. Even if I did put that towards the collections, it's still far from the $1,200 owed. I've worked hard to get a good credit score for my age and circumstances, over 700, and I'm so upset to see all my hard work be for nothing. I think my ex is doing this on purpose. He said at one point during the breakup when we were separating our finances that he doesn't care if he gets any fees or collections because his credit score doesn't matter anymore. He already has his car, and he won't need to rent anymore since he's staying on his parents' property, so he says it's basically useless. I think my ex is trying to sully my credit record so I can't rent or get a car at all in the foreseeable future. My current lease is only for 6 months, and I was really hoping to be able to get a newer, more reliable car at some point. He's told me if I ever need a place to stay, he has a couch with my name on it. What piece of advice would you give to OP? Let us know down in the comments, and let's move on to our next story. Story 2. I get guilt by my mom about bringing her large dog over. I'm 31M asking you all on how you'd handle this situation because it's bugging me more than ever. My GF 29F and I have been having issues with my mom's 55F new dog since she got her about a year ago. I grew up with small dogs all my life, but my mom decided to adopt a large pit bull/boxer mix. Around the same time as she got this dog, we started a home-based business selling food. We never owned pets, but we're both not against small pets. Since we have the business, we don't really want pets in the house due to shedding and cleanliness. We never owned any pets anyways. Q and my mother. We told her that we don't particularly feel comfortable with her bringing her dog to our place. And my GF doesn't feel comfortable with her being around B because she sheds and slobbers a lot. See, she can be very loud and can get protective of my mother. My mom understood and didn't bring it up. We bought a home about 6 months ago, and she said that now that we have our own place that she's excited to come more often. She lives out of town, and asked to come over this upcoming weekend with the dog. This is about the 3rd time that this happens, and we told her about how we don't feel comfortable with her around. She's now getting upset and threatens to not come by as often because of us not letting her dog come. This time we have a market we're getting prepared for, so we're making a lot of food, so we're really trying to be careful. I feel like an ass standing on this hill, but I also don't feel like it's particularly fair for her to bring this up every time when she knows we're not comfortable with her dog. Especially considering that my GF doesn't feel comfortable around larger dogs. How can we confront this to her that we really don't feel comfortable with her bringing the dog over? How should we handle this situation knowing that she doesn't really handle confrontation well? Do you have any advice on this one? Comment down below, and let's move on into the 3rd story. Story 3. My boyfriend of 5 years won't commit. How do I make him hear me? Me and my partner have been together 5 years. While there have been rocky moments in our relationship, we love each other and want to be together. However, he never talks about a future with me. Not even I can't wait until we're at X place or have X sort of life. When I bring up the topic, he gets annoyed and tells me he doesn't want to put a timeline on things and to stop putting pressure on him. He only ever states that he wants to be in a secure place financially before we settle down, but I don't know when that will be. We also live in London together and own property here. When we first started dating, we talked about moving abroad together and experiencing new jobs and cultures in Asia or America. However, we're still in the city now because of his job. He's an entrepreneur and works a lot, being out many nights during the week for work events and drinks. His job is really important to him and is his #1 priority always. I always wanted to live in a different country for a few years before settling down. I dreamed of being married by 28 and starting a family before 30. He knows this and always has, but still sticks to wanting to settle or travel when he's secure. I often find myself waiting at home for him, not wanting to organize social events of my own so that I can see him when he's free. While home, I do 95% of household tasks. I organize most of our date nights and social events. He'll cook sometimes for me, organize a rare date night, usually I have to ask. He'll clean the dishes sometimes. But I've even to ask him to do nice basic things like buy me ice cream at the shop when I'm on my period or flowers. Things I've expressed multiple times I like, though aren't his love language. I really do love him and really want a future with him. But I feel like my life is being wasted waiting for him to prioritize me or care about me, my needs, and about having a family/living a life beyond work. I don't know what to do. I've let him know how I'm feeling and that I'm getting to the point of being done, How do I make him realize I'm serious and approach this conversation so he hears me? Thank you for watching. All advice is welcomed and will help these people to resolve the things that trouble them. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. And never forget that your smile is your best feature. Wear it proudly.